Hello, all my dear students. I'm your educator Amit Ajmani, and I welcome you all to Sri Jendra Rank Zone classes. Now, students, in this class, we'll be starting up a new topic that is article writing. Now, you have been writing articles for quite some time now. I think from your 7th or 8th class onwards, you have been writing articles. But now we'll be writing up articles in a professional manner, and as per your maturity level, obviously there will be a lot many differences, obviously in the positive side. Fine. So let us see that after doing this chapter of article writing, what you as a learner will be able to do. After reading this chapter, you will be able to understand the importance of article writing in civic engagement, and you will be able to express your ideas with clarity. How much clarity? Whether you will be able to express or not, that is what you are going to learn. Then you will be able to compose the articles using appropriate style, appropriate structure, and appropriate voice. Now there are different types of articles which you are going to learn here, and you should be able to differentiate between these various type of articles as to what are they, how they are written, how they are different, and why they are different. You will also be able to relate and learn how to identify the target audience and the purpose of your writing accordingly. You need to identify and focus on the main issue on which you are writing this article. You need to locate, organize, and integrate the relevant data from various sources. Now, this relevant is important simply because we need to focus on the main ideas. Once we have got the ideas, we need to systematically organize the ideas. This systematic word is important because in English, whenever you are writing something, the flow, the coherence, that makes a lot of difference. So you need to systemize your ideas and write them coherently. There should be no jumping around with the ideas. There should be no mixing, no mess up created between the ideas. That is what an examiner expects from a good student. And you should be able to learn to write the articles using correct format and correct style, obviously with the correct content and correct word limit. And you should be able to learn how to provide suitable titles to attract the attention of the readers. Whenever we are writing a title, we know that our title represents our whole writing. So the title should be such that should be catchy, that should be creating curiosity to know further, that should be interesting, and the reader should get a basic idea just by looking at the topic as to what you have included in the passage or the article below, right? And in order to make the article more interesting for the readers, because we need to cater to the needs of our target audience. What we want is, just by looking at the title, the reader should not run away. He should not keep this particular article aside. He should keep continuing, and he should have that interest. And for creating that interest, we need to use anecdotes, quotations, and various examples so that it becomes more interesting and our reader feels like reading more and more. He feels like relating himself to the various examples we have given, and he needs to be convinced, and he needs to accept that whatever examples or anecdotes we are referring, that are relevant and that make sense. This is what we are going to learn from this chapter. So let us start up with the definition of what exactly an article is. An article is a piece of writing mainly intended to be published. Now, it can be published in a newspaper or a magazine or a journal. So, an article is a written piece which is going to be published, and wherever it is going to be published, we assume that it has a wide audience. A lot many people are there to read our article. Now, this article writing is the process of creating a non-fiction text about topics that can vary from very serious to the ordinary. There are numerous topics on which articles can be written. They are uncountable. If I want not to exaggerating, it is uncountable topics on which we can write articles, right? And those topics can be any ordinary day-to-day topic or any serious topic. Fine. Now these articles can discuss areas such as any current issues or the topics of general interest, for example health, for example politics or entertainment or any environmental concerns. Any, it may talk about health, and that health may also be diversified, whether it is through yoga or it is through junk food habits or the effect of mobile on her on our health, or any of our sitting posture, readings, and our hobbies. Then it may be about politics. Now politics, it can include anything, maybe corruption in politics, role of media in politics, today's political system, right? The political improvements or the political requirements, the expectations, anything. It may be related to any entertainment or any environmental concerns like deforestation or global warming, ozone depletion, need of afforestation, soil pollution, air pollution, water pollution, any of the environmental concerns. There are so many concerns actually, and these are just a few examples. The list is countless. And now, because we are writing an article which is having a wide audience, it is essential that the language which we are using to write our article needs to be interesting, but side by side, we need to make it simple so that it can be easily comprehensible. The readers may comprehend it. They should not find it difficult because we are targeting all class of audience. And to make it interesting, it should include some stories or anecdotes or facts or examples, because the purpose is we need to keep the readers engaged. Fine. Now, how to write an article? What kind of language should we use? Now, the language may be formal or informal, and it depends on the target audience, whom you are targeting, whom you are writing this article for. But we need to make sure that it must be less formal than a report. Got it? So these are a few things we need to remember. Now, if we are writing an article, what exactly can an article do? If we compare it with a report, the articles are very different because they can do much more than a simple report of an event or stating of the facts. How? The articles can offer suggestions and advices to the people. The articles can provide information on various topics and subjects to our audience. The articles can bring about a comparison between any two things. Or the articles may be descriptive, describing a location or a person or an object or technology or anything. Articles are just not like reports about any particular topic or event. It can simply amuse, and if written appropriately, it can bring a smile on the reader's face. It can also enable the readers to think, and hence the articles are influential. They can influence the people, their thoughts, their mindsets, their viewpoints, their approach. And these articles can offer opinions, they can offer arguments or counter arguments against any particular given argument or a topic. Fine, and that is why articles, they are very important. Now, how to write an article? The first thing that we need to know is the format of an article. When we talk about the articles, they are usually considered the part of informal writings. As such, there are no rules, there are no techniques which are going to you to avoid by if you are writing an article, but we need to make sure that there is an organized structure, because organized structure is preferred, and therefore a basic outline of the format that needs to be studied. So let us study the basic format, the basic outline of the article. First of all, we need to write a heading or the title of any particular article. Now this title should be eye-catching, and this title should be illustrating the central theme of whatever you are going to write. It should be short, crisp, concise, and to the point. Right? An article should be the topic, the heading should be in one line only. It should not be more than one line. After that, we use a byline in which we write the writer's name, which needs to be mentioned under the title towards the right or maybe in the middle. Both are correct. Fine. Now we start writing the article. First of all, in the first paragraph, we write the introduction part. This introduction part establishes the context, because this is through which we can draw the reader's attention using any anecdotes or startling facts or statistics or rhetorical questions or any quotations. Till now, most of you have been trying to start an article with a quotation because this is what you are being told about. The purpose is that we need to just create some kind of interest in the reader so that he can go through the article further till the end. Now, after introducing, we need to write the body of the article, which can be further divided in two or three paragraphs, in which we normally give the detailing of the various aspects of the topic. It includes all the details. It may be the merits or demerits or the causes or the consequences the effects and impacts, the advantages, the disadvantages, all these are included under the body of the article, and hence it is considered one of the most important part. And this is the part where actually you need to do some brainstorming. This is the part where you think, right? Now, after writing all the details which are relevant to this particular topic of the article, in the last paragraph, we will conclude the article. Now, when we are concluding a formal and logical end to the above written content, we can use that, or we can also utilize it in the form of a summary of all that has been included in the article, or one can conclude with a final opinion. It may be a recommendation, it may be a comment which expresses a hope, it may be a warning to the people, it may be an appeal, or it may be a call for action. Depending upon the topic of the article, we need to decide the ending of the article as to what we are going to write in the final paragraph related to the conclusion. So this is a simple, normal, general format of an article. Fine. Now, let us try to relate the various points which we need to remember while we are writing an article. First thing is, the topics should be unique and of relevance. While writing the article, we need to know the target audience as to for whom we are writing this article, and accordingly we'll be using the language, accordingly we'll be using the facts, accordingly we'll be using the content. You need to identify what is the aim, what is the purpose, what is the objective of writing the article. Are you writing it to advise someone? Are you writing this article to inform people about it or someone in particular? Is this article meant to entertain someone? Is this article comparing a few things? Or is it describing something and is descriptive in nature? So we need to identify the aim, because accordingly we'll be putting forth our views and ideas. The title that we are using should be short, it should be eye-catching, and it should be relating and representing the whole article that we are going to write further. When we are beginning an article, we should try to use a striking opening sentence. Why so? Because the purpose is to get the reader interested in the topic. When as a writer you are writing an article, you must have enough to say. So you need to choose your ideas beforehand. It should not feel that you are just dragging, you are just trying to stretch it out, you are repeating the same things or the same thoughts. You are actually giving 2, 3, 4, 5 examples just in order to prove only one particular thing, for which these many examples were never actually required. So you need to think before writing an article and be true to what you are writing. Whatever you are writing, be true to it. Make some assertions and go by them throughout the article. You should not contradict yourself. In the second paragraph, if you are writing something, the same thought, the same chain, the same sequence should be actually carried along in the third or the fourth paragraph. It should never contradict. Whatever you are writing next should not contradict with what you have written earlier and vice versa. So you need to be true, you need to make certain assertions, but make sure that you stick to them throughout the article. Fine. Keep the article brief. You should take care of and you should adhere to the word limit, because unnecessary repetitions and irrelevant information will make it boring, of course. Right? You don't have to repeat anything unnecessarily. The reader is only interested in the relevant information. If you are providing the irrelevant details, it will make it monotonous, it will make it boring, and the reader is going to get frustrated and finally going to stop reading it, which we do not want, right? So, the boring part needs to be taken care of. Now, while we are talking about boring and entertaining in English, there are certain times, I know because I have been teaching for such a long time, almost more than 22 years now. I have taught thousands of students. I have myself been a student for so many years, so I know that whatever we are doing, that is also boring so many times. It hardly is interesting, but there is a difference. Now, what is the difference? The difference is that you are not reading or studying it just for the sake of entertainment. This is because you have a purpose. This is your curriculum. Whether you like it or not, whether you are willing to do it or not, you have to do it. And this is a simple, hard fact that whenever we are reading a novel while going anywhere in the train or in the cab or in the car or anywhere, whenever we are reading a novel, I've seen many students, many people, they are having so big novels, so heavy and so thick novels, 300 pages, 500 pages, 800 pages, and they tell me that once they start reading, unless until they complete it, they they have that curiosity. They like those novels. They love reading. Now, whatever you are saying that you love reading novels, you love reading those stories, it is only because it is as per your own will that you are reading them, as per your own convenience that you are reading them, and above all, it is not going to be questioned. You are not going to get the questions out of those stories and novels, and that is the main reason why you like them. Once you introduce the same novels in your syllabus, then I will see how many of you are going to read and understand and love those novels. Reading something just in order for time pass is something different. You read it, you felt bored, you left it. You had some work, you left it. You are having nothing to do, you once again started reading it as per your own convenience. That is why you find them good. But if you will be told that you have to read this novel within 1 month, after that we'll be conducting the exam, then it becomes boring, then it becomes a burden. Reading about all the characters and you love when you talk about those, but once in the exam the character sketches will be asked and you have to learn the facts and the statements and the events and the incidents of the novel, then they will lose their charm. So when we are talking about articles, we should try to make it interesting for the reader because they are reading it just for knowledge or just for fun. But when we are talking about our classes and the syllabus, it is not fun going on here. It is a very serious thing because it is going to decide your career. This is a complaint which I have with most of the students. I have never mentioned it, but it is a hard fact that almost most of you, they are not up to the mark when it comes to studying. You are taking these classes, agreed. You are reading, you are understanding, you are listening, agreed. But just ask yourself a question very, very honestly. Are you actually revising, learning, and doing the things the way you need to do? If yes, I appreciate, very good. But still, I have a doubt it may be overconfidence. And if no, then ask yourself, what are you actually doing? And why are you making such a mistake? Your whole career is at stake. You need to be serious and sincere. You need to work. You are not a kid anymore. You need to realize your own responsibilities and the situation. I don't want to give lectures to you, but this is a fact that you people are not working the way you should. Just try to ask one question every week. Just ask one question to yourself only, and that question is, am I studying the way I should study? Am I not wasting my time? Am I serious in my studies? If the answer is yes, very good, you are doing good. But if the answer is no, please try to rectify it earliest possible. Getting my point? So no more lectures. Coming back to the topic, we need to make our article interesting. It should not be boring. Break your article into paragraphs because it acts as a breather for the reader. In one single paragraph, if you are writing one full page, the reader is going to get seriously frustrated and he will be distracted. Change in paragraphs serve as a breather. Pay attention to the choice of voice and tense and conclude logically, rationally. These are a few things you need to remember before writing an article, while writing an article, if you want to write a good article. How to write it? Let us discuss that also. There are various steps that we need to follow. What are these steps? Try to relate. Steps in article writing. Just like reports, articles too need to be well written to hold the reader's attention, and the stages of article writing, that is what we are discussing. The step first is to identify the target audience, why and for whom you are writing this article. Before you begin writing, it is very, very important to consider who are the intended readers. Are they a specific group of people, such as students or the businessmen or adults in general? Or are you targeting a particular section of the society? Because accordingly, you will be giving examples that they can associate themselves with. You need to relate their mindsets. You need to relate their preferences. If you are talking to a poor guy, for a poor guy, 1 to 5 rupees arguing about it, negotiating about it is normal. You can expect that from them. But if you are actually behaving the same way with an ultra rich, a fabulously rich guy, definitely you are going to make him irritated because he is never bothered. Fine. So you need to relate what is the target audience. And accordingly, you will get to the second step, that is, you need to identify the purpose of your writing. Why are you writing for that target audience? What exactly is your objective? What you expect from them? If it is just for the sake of entertainment, then it should be humorous. But if you want to give them food for thought, then in that case, it needs to include serious issues. If you want them just to read and forget about it, having good memories, just try to write something fictional, just imaginative, because you are writing this article for those who are actually they are trying to run away from the reality. They do not want any kind of serious reading. And this is what exactly happens. We all have our different choices, right? Whether it is movies or whether it is TV series or whether it is anything, we have our choices. There are one particular types which we love the most, but the other types we don't even feel like looking it for 1 or 2 minutes. So this is what the actual good writer does. He knows his target audience and he delivers to them what he wants. Fine. So accordingly, you need to identify the aim of the article. What is your aim? You want to advise something, suggest something, you are trying to inform, you are trying to compare and contrast something, or you are trying to describe something. These are the two steps which are very, very important: identifying the target audience and identifying the purpose of writing, because these are the deciding factors in the layout of your article, in the layout of your style, in the layout of your language, and in the layout of the level of formality. Try to understand it with the help of an example. If you are writing an article and the topic of the article is careers in commerce, obviously your target audience are the students of commerce. This article is an informative one because it is providing information and details about the various careers that a commerce student can choose from, the colleges or the universities, the eligibility for these streams, and the selection process. And because your target audience is students of commerce, we are talking about students, your tone must be formal and the language easy and straightforward. Similarly, if you are writing an article which is meant for doctors, then technical jargon related to the field of medicine can be used because they will be able to comprehend it. So this is why and how we need to relate our article. Now once you know your target audience, once you know the objective or the purpose of writing your article, now the third step is to collect and select the information. Now in this third step, we need to collect information that is available on the selected topic, for which we have so many sources. We can refer any books, we can refer any interviews, anything, and just read through them. After reading, select whatever relevant information you can gather. But while doing so, you need to ensure that the information you have collected is authentic and reliable. It is very important that whatever you are including in your article, it is reliable, it is authentic, right? Now, once you have collected and you have selected the information, now come to the next step, that is to organize the information sequentially and logically. You have gathered the information, you have selected what all you are going to write, but important thing is coherence. Whatever you are writing should come in a flow one after another. You need to organize that particular information that you have collected so that it needs to follow a logical order. For that, you can present it. There are so many ways. You can make use of the mind maps. You can make use of the flow charts just in order to organize the content. A few examples have been given to you. Let us try to relate it with the help of this particular mind map. Now, in this, we are talking about careers in commerce. Now, when we talk about the careers in commerce, we are talking about the various courses available. Now, these courses can be further subdivided into chartered accountancy, or it may be cost and work accountancy, or it may be company secretary. These are the three courses which are available as far as careers in commerce is concerned. Now, if we are talking about chartered accountancy, it is done from the ICAI, that is the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. And we need to relate what is the eligibility. Now, this is about the various courses available. After this, if you want to make a career in commerce, you can also take up the post graduation. If you want to make a career in commerce, what are the soft skills that are required? And for careers in commerce, where exactly you will find placements? Now in post graduations, we have further few options. Soft skills required, we have further few options. Placements, we may have further many options. So this is a kind of mind map you can relate so that you can justify and you can organize your content. Another way of doing it is just by making it in the form of these flowcharts. Let us try to relate. The center point we are taking is the demonetization, right? If you have got to write an article about demonetization, what all you can relate is the first thing is what is demonetization? A currency unit is stripped of its status as legal tender. Old unit of currency is replaced with a new currency unit. This is the definition or the meaning of demonetization. Now, what are the reasons for implementation? Inflation and corruption and prevalence of a cash system or prevalence of black money. These are the various points that you have included. Next, you are trying to relate about the various advantages of demonetization. You have noted down all the relevant information that you must have acquired from various sources, that it helped government fight fraudulent activities, or it is difficult to hide black money, or government is able to track the transactions, stopped or reduced the terrorist funding, it helped attract domestic investors, created fear in the minds of people about tax theft, etc. etc. Then you also talked about the various problems caused by demonetization, because every coin has two faces. It can't be like you have only and only positive sides of any particular thing. There must be some issues related to it also. Now, what are the problems which were caused because of demonetization? A large section of the population does not have bank accounts or use plastic money. Traders, taxi operators, and the tourism sector, they have been hit very hard because of it. People are going through a harrowing time and long queues. A limit has been imposed on withdrawals from the banks. Farmers, manual laborers, and daily wage workers are unemployed. The people in rural areas and the farmers are also facing a great deal of hardship. A drop in the money in circulation will cause deflation. So these are the various causes or the problems caused by demonetization, which you have gathered from various sources and you have just noted them under one particular heading. Now, when you went through different books and sources reading about demonetization and the problems which are caused by it, you also came through many solutions. So with the problems, you can relate the solutions, that every citizen to have an account, use plastic money, net banking, separate the lines for folks wishing to exchange money versus those seeking to take out money from their accounts. So these are a few solutions, and this is how you can vaguely or roughly form a flow chart or a mind map, and on the basis of this flow chart or mind map, now you can write your article because you have all the things with you under separate categories. Simply what you need to do is you need to relate the sequence. For example, if logically we try to relate, what is demonetization is important, which should come first. Then what are the reasons for its implementation? What are the advantages? What are the various problems which are coming? And a bit of the solution or the ways how we can solve the problems caused due to demonetization. So this should be the sequence of the article that we will be writing. Now once you have gathered information, you have presented it, and you know what is the sequence you are going to finalize, after it, take the next step, that is write the article. Because now you have determined the information which you are going to use. You have organized your ideas in your head. Now you need to write the article. Now these articles, once again, depending upon the target audience, they may be formal or semi-formal or informal, depending upon whom you are writing this article for. Who is your intended audience? What is their mindset? What is their level? What is their perspective? You need to think all these things about your audience before you start writing an article. Then, when you are writing an article, the first thing is you need to give your article a title, and title in such a way that it catches the attention of the reader. If I am just writing something in the form of a message and I am just writing as a heading or as a topic, I am writing, please make sure you read it. And after writing it, I am saying that I am offering my free courses in the form of lectures to everyone. Maybe just by reading the first line, please make sure that you read it, you have not read the full message, you left it. But if instead of writing this thing like this, if I write free, 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 online classes for students, free. Now, once you read this free, 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 you know that whatever is written below it is free of cost. You are curious to know what free you are getting. And then, in a hope, you will read the whole message, and maybe after reading the whole message, you get disappointed that it is all about studies, which even if we are provided with free, we are not willing to take it. Right? That depends upon your perspective, but the heading means a lot. After writing your heading or the title, then you need to begin writing the article with a striking opening sentence. This opening sentence should address directly to the readers, and it should get them interested in the topic. Now, whenever you are writing an article, you need to remember to present a strong argument for whatever ideas you are promoting. You need to support your ideas with evidences or elaborations or some facts or some figures or some examples. You do not want your readers to contradict you or to argue within their minds and heads and disagree with you regarding any point. Fine. While writing an article, your attempt must be to develop your ideas as much as you can, to make your ideas interesting and substantial. And after including all these things, finally conclude with your strongest point, because the starting and the end, they create the most of the impact. The starting, because it is going to force the readers to read till the end, and it is the end which he is going to carry in his mind. So you need to conclude with your strongest point. Fine. Now, while writing an article, use your vocabulary and descriptive language which is appropriate for the article. If you are writing in an informal way, don't try to be much formal, because it won't look good to the readers. And if it is you are writing an article in a formal way, if you will include an informal manner, it will look absurd. So the whole purpose of writing the article will go in vain. Fine. While writing the article, if you are linking the words and expressions, if you are using a variety of vocabulary, that is only going to improve your work, and it is going to make your article more interesting. But do not overdo it. It is not written here, but from my side I am telling you, don't overdo these things. Right? Do not use very high level vocabulary words just in order to make a create an impression, because the purpose of your article making it to be read by the readers, that will be lost. Last point you need to remember is use passive voice, humor, rhetorical questions so as to provide a specific effect. Quite importantly, when you are writing an article, do not talk about yourself, because you are writing this article for the general public. It has got a huge audience. You are not writing it for your close circle of friends. And that is why you need to restrain, you need to restrict talking about yourself. Your opinions are only interesting to other people if you can make them amusing. So, justify your opinion, explain your opinion to the public by quoting suitable examples and anecdotes. These are a few things you should make sure to remember and take care of before writing an article and while writing an article. Clear? I hope almost everything, whatever is being taught till now, is crystal clear to you. But all the knowledge that you have gained, whatever you have learned, how to actually implement it, for that purpose, let us try to read some sample articles. These are going to help you in formulating your ideas and in order to understand and learn how an article should be written. But before going through these samples, a few things I would like to specify and mention. Number one, articles are of various varieties and they can be on millions of topics. So just by reading one or two articles, if you start feeling that okay, now I know how to write an article, it will be a foolish thing. You need to relate more examples, you need to read, you need to understand, you need to comprehend, you need to compare the writer's style in the solved examples that you will be seeing and your own thought process and your own creativity. You need to observe how has the writer explained the details, and you don't have to cram the things. These examples are just for guidance purpose. You need to read them. You need to take guidance. There will be a few things that you will appreciate that they are really good. Take it from the writer. Note it down that yes, I like these things. Definitely, I will also include. There are certain things which are average, which you think that you could have written the same thing. No need to note such things because they are already in your mind. And there will be certain things for sure depending upon your level that you will find that this is not written in a good way. You could have written far better in your own words. Let it be, do it. It is not that we have to blindly follow the book or the examples. They are just for reference, they are just to guide us. Whatever you feel good, take it. Otherwise, if you try to relate that, okay, this is the way, this is the format, this is the order, this is the point that we need to specify, but the language which I can use, the way in which I can express is better than what is given in the book in the solved example. Make sure that you use your own creativity and accordingly write it down. Simple as that. Clear? So now let us see the sample articles. The first article, the heading, the title is The Color Green, Corporate Conscience or Fashion Statement. There is a question mark because this particular topic is actually making a choice between these two things. Right? Now we'll write the byline. This is by Brendan Twiggy. We need to leave a space. This by is towards the right side as we can see here. You also have to do the same thing. After leaving a space, we will write the first introductory paragraph. Let us see what the writer has written here. Hotwire has conducted a major audit looking at the greening of corporate communications and its potential influence on consumer purchasing habits across Europe. So this is actually the introduction of what exactly the title and this article all about. Coming to now the body of the article, and in these paragraphs we will be including all the details related to the topic. Let us see how. They researched five sectors. Which all five sectors? Retail, banking and finance, manufacturing and automotives, utilities and technology and telecoms. In five countries. Which all countries? They have been specified: the UK, France, Germany, Spain and Italy, because it was all through Europe. Looking at how frequently companies use green issues in their external communications vehicles. In this instance, press releases were selected as the representative communications tool. We coupled this with pan-European consumer research that identified how green issues affect the purchasing decisions of consumers in the same sectors and countries. Now, next paragraph, change in thought. Contrary to popular opinion. Now, this is what exactly, when this kind of survey was done, research was done, this is the outcome now. Contrary to popular opinion, companies across Europe do not greenwash their communications wholesale. The Hotwire study has found that across all the sectors, green appeared as a theme relatively infrequently, in only 7.5% to 17% of companies' external communications. French companies use green issues the most at 17%, while German companies are least likely at 7.5%. These are interesting findings, with Germany very much an international leader in terms of energy efficiency. We put it more down to regional style than the reality of the company's initiatives. However, while it is good to see that companies are not opting for a cheap greenwash across the board, it is also interesting to note that they are not in sync with consumer interest for green products and services. While companies communicate about green issues relatively infrequently, the consumer interest in all things green is very high. When asked to score their interest in green between 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, the European consumer scored on average between 6.3, Germany, and 8 in France. Consumers in Spain, the United Kingdom, and Italy scored 7, 7.2, and 7.7 respectively. In other words, consumer interest is very high, but in terms of corporate communications, companies are not doing much to satisfy the interest. The technology and telecom sector is an interesting sector in terms of how it currently communicates around green and what influences the buying decision when purchasing technology products and services. The United Kingdom is the only country that communicates in any volume. 22% of technology companies' external communications about green. At 5 out of 10, the consumer research indicates that green is not a very compelling driver for British consumers in the technology space. However, there is some interest, and UK based companies are doing a few things to garner that interest. In the rest of Europe, PR professionals in the technology space have huge opportunities. While consumer interest is pretty high at about 5.5 and 6.1, the company's corporate communications efforts have so far ignored the green agenda. In France, only 7% of the external communications by technology companies include the green theme. In Germany, 1%, Spain, 2.9%, and in Italy, 0%. There are some big openings for being the green champion in the technology and telecoms industry in France, Germany, Spain, and Italy. You have specified the source, that is this website reusablearticles.com. So this article mainly deals about the green policy of the companies and the Europeans' attitude, mindset, thought, perception about this aspect of the companies. Clear? This is how you have in detail written an article in which we actually introduce the topic. In the next few paragraphs, we developed the topic, we compared, we contrasted, we gave very many statistics in order to prove our point and in order to justify as to what exactly is the trend among the European people. Now, this was the first example. Let us try to relate a second example because the first in itself was too lengthy. I agree, and I can understand that most of you have basically not been able to relate. With the help of second example, you will be able to understand better and relate better. Now, in this second article, the title is The Health Problems of Tattoos. This is the title. In the next line, we have taken the byline by Paul Silver. Leaving a space, we will start up and give the introduction to the topic. Let us see how it has been done. Tattoos have been around for thousands of years, but they have always had their health problems. The main potential problem with getting a tattoo is infection. Now, in the next coming paragraphs, we will build up and dwell upon the details. How? Let us see. The tattooing process involves pushing pigment far down into the dermis of the skin with a needle. With modern stainless steel and sterilization machines, this is much easier to keep clean and problem-free than the original tattooing method of rubbing ash into wounds. But problems can still occur. Now, what are the problems? We are going to dwell upon that. If a tattooing needle is not completely and totally clean when it pierces your skin, it can deposit germs deep into the skin along with the pigment it is delivering. A major problem with infection from unclean tattooing is it can infect the recipient with hepatitis B. In turn, hepatitis can cause inflammation of the liver, which is painful to start with, and if left to develop, can become chronic and cause long-term damage and even death. So this is the development of the idea. Next, we are changing the paragraph with a change in thought. Initially, we were talking about tattooing, then tattooing needles and the infection. Then we came to hepatitis B, and we are going to elaborate hepatitis B now. Initial symptoms of a hepatitis can last for up to 2 weeks and include a raised temperature, headache, and lack of energy. After this, jaundice can develop and then potentially anorexia, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. If left untreated, you will probably then experience upper abdominal pain, a tender, enlarged liver, and enlarged lymph glands in your neck. So this paragraph includes the symptoms related to hepatitis. Coming to the next, by this point, the pain and other symptoms should have taken you to the doctors. They will need to carry out blood tests to confirm which strain of hepatitis you have contracted. There are five types: A to E, A, B, C, D, E. If you have developed a bad infection, you may need hospital care to recover, mainly so doctors can spot if you have the early stages of acute liver failure. So discussing about the treatment plan. Next is, up to 95% of adults with a hepatitis B infection will recover fully, but the rest may develop lifelong chronic hepatitis, especially if they already have immunodeficiency problems before they get the infection. Infection can be prevented by good living conditions, and hepatitis B can be prevented with a vaccination, which many tattooists will have as a preventive measure, as they do not wish to catch hepatitis B from their customers, some of who may carry it unknowingly. So this is the treatment plan and the vaccination plan. When you receive a tattoo, be confident that the tattooist's equipment is properly sterilized, that they have been checked out by the local health department, and that you are confident that they are clean. No responsible tattooist will mind showing you how they ensure their equipment is clean and safe. Precautionary measures while getting tattooed. When the tattoo is healing, make sure you keep the tender area clean and that you do not expose yourself to possible infection through poor hygiene or living conditions. After receiving your tattoo, if you run a temperature, get headaches, or a sudden lack of energy to do anything, get in touch with your doctor straight away. It is much better for it to be diagnosed as not being a problem than to risk having a hepatitis infection and not having it treated as early as possible. Instead of getting a permanent tattoo, you could get a temporary one. They are available in a wide range of designs, from star tattoos to tribal styles, and don't carry any risk of infection. So these are the advices. This is the conclusion, the advices given for those who want to have a tattoo done on them, right? So this is what our title is justifying: tattoos and the various problems related to tattoos. Clear? Let us try to have one more example. Genius has gender question mark only in our minds. A very beautiful title. Genius has gender. Only males can be genius or only female can be genius? Question mark. This is a question being asked by the writer, and he is specifying only in our minds. It is our state of mind and the normal thought process because of which we have been in these parameters of making some notions, some myths in our mind. This is the article about. Let us see. Leaving a space, we'll start up with the article. When Cambridge University advised its examiners to avoid words like genius and brilliant because they exclude women, many of us rolled our eyes and dismissed it as political correctness gone wild. But close your eyes. What is the first image that comes to your mind when you hear the word genius? Is it Albert Einstein, Stephen Hawking, or Srinivasa Ramanujan? Perhaps Shakespeare or Premchand, Steve Jobs? Now, all these that came in your mind, this is what the writer needs to actually focus on. Whether you are female or male, odds are your mind sees a man. These associations affect our perceptions of others, which in turn affects their self-image and choices. Gender gap in the sciences, for instance, can be partly explained by the notion that these areas call for genius or raw natural ability, which many women don't feel confident they possess. So he is trying to relate in this paragraph after giving introduction that it is the mindset of the people. He is elaborating on the same fact. Reasons for that lack of confidence are, now he is talking about why we have this kind of lack of confidence in women. The reasons are also cultural. In the US, a depressing piece of research found that even 6-year-olds were likely to think of only boys as brilliant. When professors are rated, it is men who are described as stars and visionaries, and the same qualities are overlooked or disparaged in women. So this is basically the biasness of the society. Think of the routine put down hysterical, which literally means a disorder caused by the womb. The idea of a lone genius is a romantic myth. Hard work, collaboration, and luck have as much to do with accomplishment as ability. And none of these traits are sexual characteristics. Thinking harder about how we fling around words like flair and brilliance might foster a better intellectual climate all around. So, this is what exactly he is ending the article with, trying to appeal to the general public as to what exactly their approach needs to be. Fine. So this is our article writing. Now, if we try to summarize this whole chapter, what exactly this chapter is dealing with, this section on article writing deals with the nuances of how and what about an article. With an easy explanation provided, the topic becomes fun to read and understand. I'm not sure whether you found it funny or easily understandable, depends upon person to person. If you have been focusing, if you have been relating, this is really good explanation given, and it teaches a lot and you can learn a lot from it. Otherwise, we all know what exactly is the reason and consequence. As aspiring corporate officials, talking about you people, why you are studying hard, why you are studying and taking this course, because you wish to become officers, your aspirations are high. So as aspiring corporate officials, students would be required to express their thoughts and put them on paper about day-to-day affairs, the company strategies, the political events, etc. So various examples and practice exercises will help students develop an insight and hence write better. Various examples we have already seen, and the practice exercises I'll be taking up in the next class, because we have just completed up the articles and there are so many things which you need to revise, need to relate, need to understand, and I think you need time for it, at least to read whatever we have studied. Keep that in mind so that when in the next class we'll be discussing the exercises of this chapter, you also contribute, you and your brain both should be active while taking the next class, thinking about the topics, comprehending the situation, trying to relate, trying to observe, trying to gain. Got it? Fine. So this is what I want from you people, that just go through it, and in the next class once again we'll be taking up a few more exercise questions to have a better understanding and to make sure that we need to realize what we have learned till now, and whether whatever we have learned, are we able to implement it while writing the articles or not. Because learning, reading, listening, understanding, looking, they are just kept aside. The main thing is, after doing all these things, were you able to understand or not? After understanding, are you able to write it on your own or not? If yes, very good, purpose solved. But if no, what was the use of devoting so much of time and reading and learning so much? So that is a cause of concern, and that is what we do not want. Clear? So before taking up the exercise questions, it is better that you go through all these things, try to relate the examples, try to focus and observe what and how is included, how it is represented, because that is what you yourself are going to do when you will be given an article to write. Got it? So time to end the class. I hope everything is crystal clear now, and everything you have and you are able to learn, relate, understand. Fine. In the next class, we'll meet with the examples and the practice questions of article writing. Till then, enjoy your time, guys. Keep studying hard. Try to utilize your time. Have a great day. Thank you so much.